Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day before we begin the video. Please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Lucas hears Marco out. In addition to Lucas hearing Marco out, General Hospital spoilers for Monday, April 21, 2025, focus on Jordan and Isaiah making a decision, Sidwell visiting Alexis, and Sasha making an admission. Lucas, Van Hansis, is shocked that the man he met at the Miami conference has ties to Port Charles. He learned that Sidwell, Carlo Rota, is Marco's father when he accidentally interrupted Marco, Adrian Ancondo, and Alexis, Nancy Lee Gran, in the middle of a tense conversation. So, on Monday, expect Lucas to hear Marco out. Sure, the two don't know each other that well. However, the fact that Marco is Sidwell's son is a big deal, because Lucas has heard all about Sidwell's actions. Meanwhile, look for Lucas to want to know if Marco knew who he was when they connected in Miami. Sidwell is making moves around town. He hired Jordan and invested in the Esplanade project that he hopes will take over Sonny's peers. Plus, he has Natalia giving him information on Sonny's surgery. His next step is to visit with Alexis and make a plea for his son. Marco is close to getting a job with Diane, Carolyn Hennessy, and Alexis. That is, if they can get over the Sidwell connection, and the fact that Marco didn't reveal this very pertinent piece of information. Meanwhile, Jordan, Tanisha Harper, and Isaiah, Sawandi Wilson, come to a decision. If it's what Jordan mentioned on Friday, then this decision involves putting a pause on their relationship while she goes undercover in Sidwell's organization. She knows she'll be turning her life over to Sidwell and won't have time for much more. In addition, she will want to protect Isaiah, who knows how nasty Sidwell can be. Carly, Laura Wright, just found out about Sonny's heart surgery and the fact that his procedure is set for the end of the week. She has already demanded that she's going with him to Los Angeles and will be there every step of the way. Sonny, Maurice Bernard, will undoubtedly forbid her from going, but this is his ex-wife. Expect Carly to be insistent. Does that mean Sonny will give in and she'll accompany him after all? Finally, Sasha, Sophia Matson, makes an admission. Jason, Steve Burton, learned how Sasha gave the deception the ladies permission for them to go into business with Sidwell. She downplayed the kidnapping in exchange for $250,000. Now Jason wants to know why she sold out. Teasers suggest that she won't hold back when Sasha makes an admission. Tensions are boiling over in Port Charles as Monday's episode of General Hospital gears up to throw one of the most tightly wound secrets into the spotlight. Marco, mysterious, elusive, and increasingly suspicious, can no longer dodge the truth, and it's Lucas Jones, of all people, who demands answers. The stakes are sky high, and someone's about to come clean or lie themselves into deeper danger. The heat has been simmering for weeks now, ever since Marco first reappeared on the canvas, whispering hints about old ties and dangerous pasts. Fans have been wondering what he's really hiding. His interactions with Brooke Lynn have been cryptic at best, evasive at worst. But Monday's episode promises to shift the entire narrative, because Lucas Jones is finally stepping in, and he wants clarity. Not just for himself, but for the safety of his family. Sources confirm that Marco's storyline will take a sharp turn when Lucas corners him at General Hospital. The encounter starts off cordial enough. Lucas spots Marco near the nurse's station and calls out to him, hoping for a quick hello. But the moment Marco turns around, there's tension in his eyes. Lucas notices it immediately. "You look like you've seen a ghost," he says, half joking. But Marco doesn't laugh. Instead, he fumbles for an excuse. He wasn't expecting to see Lucas. He didn't realize he worked this shift. Excuse after excuse tumbles out, none of them sticking. And Lucas, ever the empathetic listener, shifts from friendly to firm in record time. "You know who I am," Lucas says, voice low. "You know I have people I care about here." So if whatever you're into puts them in danger, I need you to start talking. Marco hesitates. He knows he's at a crossroads. Keeping quiet means protecting himself, but risking that Lucas or someone close to him could get caught in the crossfire. Opening up, that means revealing parts of his past that could send shockwaves through the hospital, and maybe even trigger legal consequences. Still, he looks Lucas in the eye and says, "There are things you don't know."
What follows
And I think
is
it's confession, part warning. Marco finally opens the door to a complicated history, one that stretches far beyond Port Charles. He admits he wasn't just passing through town when he showed up a few months ago. He was following someone, watching them, protecting them. From who? That's the question Lucas asks next. And while Marco doesn't give names, he gives just enough detail to confirm everyone's worst suspicion. There's more than one threat in Port Charles right now, and not all of them are visible. Elsewhere, Brooklyn begins to feel the walls closing in. She's been trying to make peace with her complicated relationship with Marco. Half of her believes he means well. The other half is terrified of what might happen if she continues to trust him. On Monday, she receives an anonymous text. Just 2 words. He knows. She freezes. Who knows? Lucas? Chase? Someone worse? The camera lingers on her expression. Conflicted, shaken, but quietly determined. She deletes the message but doesn't forget it. This is war, and Brooklyn knows how to survive. Meanwhile, Chase begins doing his own digging. He's been suspicious of Marco's background ever since their first interaction. While he's never had concrete proof, he's now determined to find some. A quiet visit to the PCPG archives turns up something interesting. An old arrest report sealed by federal order. The name isn't Marco. It's a different alias. But the photo? It's him. Chase copies the file and stares at it for a long moment. "Who the hell are you really?" he murmurs. That question will haunt Monday's episode and likely shape the week ahead. At the hospital, Lucas and Marco's conversation takes a darker turn. Marco warns Lucas that things may get worse before they get better. "There are people watching me," he says. "And if they think I said too much," he stops himself. Lucas cuts in. "Then what?" "You disappear. Or someone else does." Marco doesn't answer. That silence says more than anything. It's clear now. Marco isn't just some guy with a complicated past. He's a ticking time bomb. And Lucas just lit the fuse. Elsewhere, Nina continues to struggle with her own set of dilemmas. She crosses paths with Willow in the hospital corridor, and things get tense quickly. Willow has been trying to keep her distance, but Nina, fresh off a hard conversation with Drew, makes one final plea to rebuild some kind of connection. "You don't have to forgive me," Nina says. "But can you at least let me be around for the kids?" Willow, still raw from Nina's past betrayals, isn't ready to open that door. "You always say you want to make things right," she says, "but it's always about what you need, not what we do." The moment ends with Nina left alone once again, her expression unreadable. Back in Jason's world, the fallout from Friday's discovery begins to snowball. After finding the chilling message at the pier, "You're too late," Jason spends Monday retracing his steps. He meets with Anna again, pushing harder than ever to find the mole inside the organization. Anna's just as frustrated. Leads keep dying. Witnesses keep disappearing. But Jason has a theory now. He believes that the threats against Sonny and the danger Marco may be hinting at are connected. Deeply connected. And if he's right, everything they thought they knew about Pikeman is just the surface. Carly gets a call from Lucas midway through the day, and his tone alone sends chills down her spine. "We need to talk," he says. "It's about Marco." Carly's first instinct is to panic. She's already reeling from Sonny's health revelation and the fallout of her shaky alliance with Ava. But when she hears Lucas describe the strange things Marco admitted, she realizes this is bigger than any family drama. "If he's in danger," Carly says, "we all are." The final act of Monday's episode ends with a slow-burning cliffhanger. Marco, now aware that he's tipped his hand too far, finds himself being followed. He's no stranger to surveillance, but this is different. These footsteps aren't federal agents or ex-partners. This is someone with a vendetta. As he cuts through an alley behind G8, he hears a whisper from the shadows. "You should have kept your mouth shut." Marco turns. No one's there, but the warning is clear. Lucas, shaken but resolute, makes a decision. He leaves the hospital, heads straight to the Quartermain mansion, and asks to speak to Brooklyn. "We need to talk about Marco," he says. Brooklyn swallows hard. "Yeah," she answers, her voice barely steady. "We do." And just like that, the pieces begin to fall into place. The next chapter in Marco's story is about to be written, and everyone connected to him is about to feel the ripple effect. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our YouTube channel for more update news.